And we're recording. Okay. Just here. Okay, so Spiral 9. Oh, I just watched Rogue One. It's pretty good. So if you have a chance to watch it, go watch it. Where are we? Ratio of ages. So the ratio of the ages. So we can write part total here. Part total. So 5, 4, 3, and this is Larry, Curly, and Mo. And their total ages right now, it's 5 plus 4 is 9, plus 3 is 12. Okay, so at this particular time, if they're 5, if Larry's 5, Curly's 4, Mo is 3. But what happens when they're some of their age is 144? Well, then you find a relationship. You wrote 144 under the 12 because that's also total. So what's the relationship here? Times 12. So everything's going to be times 12, times 12, times 12, times 12. So I guess they're really old now. Larry, it's 60. Curly is 48. And Mo is the youngest one at 36. Okay. Bus A leaves every 18 minutes. Bus B leaves every 24. If both buses just left the station, when will they both leave at the same time again? So this is definitely an LCM problem. So let's put 18 and 24. It's something that's happening over and over and over again, but they meet at a future time in the future. I can pick, let's pick 4. No, 4 is not going to work. 6. 6 goes to 18, 3. 6 goes to 24, 4 time. LCM. So LCM, we circle this, and it looks like an M. It's going to be the product of these three numbers. So 6 times 3 times 4. 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 times 6 is 72. In 72 minutes, both buses will be together at the station, departing, okay, or leaving the station again. Okay. Clear. No, anywhere clear. Bring this down. An art teacher uses 2/3 of a gallon of paint to pour into containers. Okay, so that's how much he has. If he poured 1/8 of a gallon of paint in each container until he ran out of paint, how many containers had paint in them, including the one that was partially filled? So, yes, so the idea here is not right. He has, let's assume this is a full gallon, but he doesn't have a full gallon. He has 2/3. Okay, so I'm going to shade in what he has. He has 2/3 of a gallon. Okay, and he's going to pour all that paint into little containers like that. And each container you can fill it in with 1/8. So how many containers of this size, 1/8 size, can you fill in? Even including the last one where it's probably not going to fill to the top. Okay, so the division problem, you have 2/3. You're going to divide it by 1/8. So in this case, we can find the LCM. We're gonna, find the common denominator. Common denominator is 24, and the 3 became 24 times 8. So I'm going to multiply the top times 8. You get 16. The 8 became 24 times 3, so I'm going to multiply the top times 3. So now that we have common denominator, we can cross this out. We can rewrite this as a fraction, 16 over 3. And we can say that we change it into a mixed number. 3 goes 16 5 times. 3 times 5 is 16. 3 times 5 is 15. We have 1 left over 3. So you're actually going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 containers full of paint. Okay, this is 1/8 gallon containers full of paint. And the last one is going to be filled just up to that much. So how many containers in total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even though the last one only had a little bit. Okay, because that's what they want to know. How many containers, including the last one that's only partially filled. Okay. Yeah, good question. Complete the table. Exponential form. 7 to the third power is the same thing as 7 times 7 times 7. And 7 times 7 is 49. And then times 7 again, I believe. 3, 6, 28, 343. This is a bunch of k's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's k to the 8th power. And standard form would be just k to the 8th power. Right? Because we don't know the value of k. I'm not going to substitute. 81. Well, this one has different answers. You can write expanded 9 times 9, because 9 times 9 is 81, or 9 to the 2nd power. You could have also said that this is the same thing as 3 to the 4th power, which is 3 times 3 times 3, which is also 81. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. And 27 times 3 is 81. Moving down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Use the distributive property. So we're going to do the Angry Birds, the attack, 9 times 6 first. Then attack the second one. And you get 9 times m minus, 9 times m. So 9 times 6 is 54 minus 9 times m. You can't subtract these two, okay, because they're different. This is a number. It is a number with a variable. Two different things. It's like subtracting apples and oranges. You can't do it. Factor, let's see. This is almost like going backwards again. So 2072. How did it become 2072? Let's find the LCM. GCF, I'm sorry. 4, this 4 works. Well, 4 goes 25 times, 4 goes 72, 1 18 times, that works. Anything else I can do here? No. So 4 is my number outside, 5 will be my first number here inside the parentheses, and 18. 4 times 5 is indeed 20, and 4 times 18 does gives me 72. So these two. You can say 20 plus 72 or 4 times parentheses 5 plus 18. It means the same thing. Oh, I'm really happy that Star Wars movie Rogue One was really good. Back to its normal days. So, solve using a tape diagram. Okay, ratio of apples to oranges. So let me write apples. So apples, the ratio is 2. Oranges, the ratio is 7. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If there are 40 less apples, how many fruits are all together? Well, 40 less apples. Okay, now you're gonna have to learn how to read these things. 40 less apples. Clearly that there are less apples. Clear. Okay, because there are more oranges here. So, remember in class I said you can say 40 less apples. If you say 40 less apples, okay, or you can say 40 more oranges, right? The quantity here can be reversed. We can say 40 less apples, or we can say 40 more. There's clearly more oranges, and the more section is represented by this area right here. This is your more section. Because up to this part, these two boxes and these two boxes, they represent the same quantity, right? So whatever number I put in these two boxes and whatever number I put in these two boxes and the oranges, they're going to add up to be the same. So where it's different is that these extra 5 boxes, that's where the oranges have more. Okay, so that is represented by the number 40. So what number can I put into these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes so that they equal 40? 8, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in a tape diagram, if one number is 8, everything else is 8. 8 and 8, 8 and 8. So remember I told you before, 8 and 8, 16, and 8 and 8, 16. So up to that particular point, they both had 16 each. It's this area right here that made the difference. That was 40 more for the oranges or 40 less for the apples. Okay. Find the distance between 4, -7 and -5 and 7. So if each unit is equal to a half. So I'm just very, very crudely going to do this. 4 -7 is about 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to go down here. So here's 4 -7. -5 and -7. So it's on the other side. -5 goes that way, and then 7. So I know, just by the look of it, they're both on the -7th floor underground, and one's on the left side. Let's say I assume this is the elevator. One's the left side of the elevator, and it's one on the right side of the elevator. So how far are they from each other? So what's the distance from -5 from here to the elevator? This distance right here is 5. Remember, absolute value. Distance cannot not be negative, so you're -5 spaces away from, in this case, the y-axis, or just 5. Take the absolute value. How far is 4 from the x value? From the x value, from the y-axis, sorry. So 4 is 4 steps away, 4 units away from the y-axis, or the elevator, however you want to think of it. So if I were to walk from -5 to the elevator, and then from the elevator to positive 4, how many units would I go? Well, it would be 5 plus 4, which gives you 9. I'm not done. It says here what would be the total distance if each unit equals half a mile, so you can do 9 times half a mile, or 9 times 0.5, your choice. So if you do 9 times a half, you can put the 9 over 1, and go 9 times 1 is 9, and 1 times 2 is 2, and 9 over 2 is just simply 4.5, and you would get the same answer over here, 4.5. What's the coordinate point H? So point H is negative 3 and 8, so negative 3 and 8 would be negative 3 steps to the left, negative 3 and 8 all the way down here. So there's negative 3 and 8. Negative, by the way. Negative. Reflection over the y-axis. So here's the x and here's the y. So reflection over the y-axis means this point here has to jump from this side to this side. Okay, we're going this way. So that's easy. Think of your mirror reflection. It's the same distance away on the other side. So how many steps is this point away from the y-axis? Is 1, 2, 3, because it's negative 3. So it should be 1, 2, 3 steps away on the other side. So there's my, let's call it, this is h, and this should be my h prime. So it's going to be the same distance away and the same floor. Okay, so it's still negative 8 floor. So, but instead of negative 3, it's going to be positive 3 and all the way down negative 8. 1, 2, 3 positive and all the way down negative 8. What sets each of the following numbers belong to? Negative 9 is not counting. It's not whole, but it is an integer. And definitely rational. They're all rational. 7.49, it's not counting. It's not a whole number. It's not an integer, but it is irrational. And 54 is a counting number. It's a whole number. It's an integer. And it's a rational number. Okay. This question I took from last year's test. Okay, hopefully maybe a little more challenging. You got 3 expressions, A, B, and C. Which of them have the same value as 12 squared? Well, 12 squared is 12 times 12, which gives you 144. Alright, so you can think of it as 12 to the second power, 12 times 12, 144 power, but they all mean the same thing. So which of these 3, A, B, or C, have that same value of 144? Well, I guess you have to just solve it. 20 to the second power minus 18 to the second power. You can't subtract these numbers as they are, so you really have to find the exponent, change your exponential form to a standard form. 20 to the second power, it's 20 times 20, which is 400. Minus 18 to the second power, which is 18 times 18. I have no idea. So 8, I would say 64 goes 6, 8, 1, 44, and 18. 4, 8 plus 4 is 12, goes 1, 324. So it's 400 minus 324, and that's going to be 76. So that's definitely not equal to 144. So this one is a no. Next one, 8 times 4 to the second power plus 2 to the fourth. Okay, so if you remember your order of operations, parentheses first, exponent second, multiplication and division, and then addition or subtraction. So here, it's 8 times, remember that parentheses means multiplication, so I'm not going to multiply yet. Just let me find out what 4 to the second power is, which is 16. Plus 2 to the fourth is 2, 4, 8, 16. Now I'm going to do the multiplication. 8 times 16, 8 times 6 is 48. Carry the 4. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 4 is 128. Plus 16. Now I can add these two. And 128 plus 16 is, let's see, 4. Carry the 1. 2 plus 1, 4. 144. Yay, look at that. So B has the same value as 144. Let's try C. 15 to the second power. Minus 3 to the fourth, 15 times 15, I believe it's 225. Let's just double check. 15 times 15 is 5 times 5 is 5, 25 is 75. this 225. So that gives me 225 minus 3 to the 4th power, which is 3, 9, 27, 81. Does that equal 144? Well, let's see. 225 minus 81. We have a 4 for sure. Borrow. 12 minus 8 is 4. And the one remaining bring down. Okay, look at that. C also has a value of 144. So B and C in this case have the same value of 12 squared. Okay, that was a 6th grade question from last year's test. Okay, so what time is it? About 10 something, right? AM. I'll post this very soon.